Major League Wrestling. I'm doing another episode. This is 37. Before I get started, I want to make this very clear. Damn! I think that's the best way to say this episode. I think it's called Major League Wrestling Fusion. I think so. I'm still learning it. But what I can tell, if you're looking at the two promotions that I've done reviews for, and that's Impact Wrestling and WWE, this one episode trumps most of what they've done in the last year. Easily, this episode 37, yeah, has killed anything that's been going on in WWE. Except for what happened with Becky. Becky Lynch has been the most entertaining thing they've had, in my knowledge, in the last year. She's been it. And it's only been a couple of months. That's the best they got. Impact Wrestling, I can easily say that this episode is better than what I've seen over the last near year, but it does not mean Impact Wrestling has not done incredibly great work. Remember, they only just switched from one writing team to another, new management. So I'm not surprised that they've been building up into a better company and a better story and promotion. Well, better promotion that does better stories, better utilization of their talent. And like I said before, be very wary of what's going on with Impact Wrestling. We don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't know if they're going to have their contract renewed or not. I don't know if they're going to be shifted to even a later time on Anthem, because they're still at 10 o'clock. That's a dead time, even though it's good for people in the West of the United States to be able to catch the show, because they never could catch it before. They had to work. But still, they're on a, well, I'm not saying Pop isn't a good network, but it's not a well-reachable and well-known network. So they're still not doing great. And I still say be wary of it. But when you look at this one episode from this promotion I'm looking at, it was easily more than what I've seen on most of their episodes throughout the year. Now, let's go through most of this. I'm not going to do a total review, but I am going to do most of the most important points. The audio is still an issue for me personally. The only thing, if anyone knows anybody from the company itself, I would at least, my humble recommendation is to at least bring up the audio for the commentary team. That's what I would recommend. It's not about what happens with the audio in the arena. They can't always control that. But because this is taped, they need to make sure that commentators can be heard when the theme music comes up. And the only thing I would recommend is just bring up the audio a little bit, so at least the people at home can hear it, because we're not talking about the people in the arena hearing the commentators. This is for the people at home. So that's what I would recommend. Other than that, the show is comparable easily to Impact Wrestling. The quality is good. Comparable easily. The backstage segments are very good. The audio quality is good. The camera work is alright. Now, let's go through the first match, which is, what is it? The Simon Gotcha. I forgot his name. Gotcha. He had a open challenge, or a prize fight challenge, and he's willing to give $20,000 to anybody that either knocks him out or survives the 5 minutes. And this guy, what is his name? Ace Romero? Big, thick guy. Not saying he's fat. He's big and thick. I mean, you can be big and thick and be one of the strongest men in the world. Men or women alike. It don't make no difference if it don't make a difference. So, he got into the ring and he wiped him out. Basically squashed his ass. And he got 20 grand and, well, supposedly 20 grand. And he was throwing some money into the arena, making it interesting, which I'm alright with. This is something we don't see in the WWE. They don't do this very much in Impact Wrestling. I don't think they've done this year. But it is good to see that they did do a money segment. Something that many people would relate to. Hell, most people would get into the ring with a prize fighter for 5 minutes to see if they can get $10,000. So I'm alright with that. Now, Andrew Everett goes up against Ariel what is this guy's name? I can't pronounce his last name. I don't want to botch it. So the guy's first name is Ariel, I believe it is. And the guy's probably shorter than I am. I'm like 5'8.5", maybe 5'8". I'm not exactly sure about my height, especially after my injury and my my disability now. So I could be even more different. But the guy is probably 5'6", 5'7". And he reminds me of the guy who, if anybody remembers the FBI with, what is it, Guido? He has that type of body type. Like, he is Italian, and he walks just like him. And pretty much, he got some strength behind him because he grabbed Andrew Everett and did a suplex that threw him out of his boots. I was impressed. But because I don't know the story yet about this guy, Ariel, dealing with what the guy's name's Team Filthy, I don't know them very much. So I don't know what the interaction is. Now, if I remember, Simon Gotch's might be a part of Team Filthy. I don't know. I think he was or is. I just don't know. So I have a lot to learn. But I'm not sure where this is going to go. This might have just been a squash match to get Ariel his first win. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing either. Because I just don't know yet. Now, H2O TV. Interesting. They showed some scenes about one guy. I forgot his name. What is the guy's name? He's working right now on the same group as Low-Key. So I don't know the name of the group yet. And Selena, I think she's the head of the team. He works for her. So at one point, supposedly a guy named Brazil got glass in his eye because of some type of fight he had. And the thing that got me really happy was that this guy was allowed to be inside of a limo, dancing his ass off, shaking, letting some girls shake their asses in front of him, showing some money, and showing what it means to be a player. I'm sorry, the WWE wouldn't do that. And that's a shame. They should, because there's a lot of people who could benefit from allowed to have more open license to their character. And here in MLW, this guy had that option. And I felt that really gave a little bit more for the story, even though I don't know the full story yet. Now, supposedly the guy is, he's been suspended. And he did have a segment saying, what is this going to bother me? I don't care. It's not going to bother me because I got the cash. I got stuff to do. Bye. And I felt that was very well done. Because you see this guy, he's no nonsense. He's part of a group that has money, that has power, that has anything you want. He was out partying earlier with a couple of girls and one girl that was showing her ass to the max. Sorry to say ass, but you know what I mean. I did enjoy that you at least got that view of the situation. And her butt looked nice. I had to say it, I'm sorry. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is how they promoted the final match of the night. Because you only had like, what, 3 matches here. And I'm alright with that. Sometimes giving us really good content that leads to really good matches, I'm fine with. So Low-Key from Major League Wrestling, from what I understand, I don't know how old the company is. Since 2004, he's undefeated. What? This is something I hate when it comes to other promotions. Why not? I could be wrong about Impact Wrestling, because they never did it in WWE. They talked they was international superstar or something when they were doing their search when he was Carval. But in Impact Wrestling, from the time I saw him, like when he was in MVP's was a Beatdown Clan and working with LAX, dude, they never said he was undefeated in several promotions or one promotion. They never did. And I really think that would have added to Low-Key's character of being one of the most best wrestlers of strong style in the world. Just saying that he's best at strong style is one thing. But saying that he's undefeated at least one promotion, is a champ in another promotion. Like what happened with Austin Aries when he was carrying around all those belts. They really need to do that with Low-Key. And whether you like him or not. I mean, the boy is from Brooklyn, baby. I mean, I wasn't born in Brooklyn, but he's from New York. It makes me happy to see that they're willing to give a guy of Low-Key's stature. He's not much taller than I am. maybe a little bit taller, gave him that much credibility to be able to have, 14 years of 100% no jobbing. Now, that could be a bad thing. There probably was several times where it was a bad thing, but it showed they really had confidence in him. And then you had Conan. And in this situation, Conan really didn't feel like he was like an Impact Wrestling, which he was like 2 years ago, the be-all, end-all. In this situation, Conan felt different. He wasn't trying to get over like he normally does, saying, I am the best, I am everything, Viva la Weta, whatever that was, Viva la Weta or something. And so I don't mean disrespect, it's just I don't speak Spanish. But when it comes down to it, Conan didn't have the same lines as he did. He felt more humble than he felt more arrogant. In this situation, it's obvious he's the good guy. That's the reason why he felt humble, which I can at least say, thank you for being able to vary your character when you really are interested in it. Because in Impact Wrestling, that was bullshit. Santana Ortiz deserved better. And they still do. Hopefully they will get what they want. But anyway, when it came down to this match, which was a no DQ for the Major League Wrestling World title, and here's the problem I did have before that happened. If you're promoting, what was the name of their pay-per-view? I think Super Fight in, what was it, April? I think it's coming out in April, Super Fight. I'm not sure, February or April. It would have been better not to promote it with his opponent coming up, because it's obvious you're basically telegraphing what's going to happen. You could have just said, low-key will be going up against his opponent that you don't even need to mention him. You already know who it is. You see how the problem is in the ring, but they didn't need to mention him so much. And I believe his name was Lawler. So this I felt was kind of like not the wisest thing to do on this particular show. Yes, you've done it before, but you didn't need to do it on this show, showing him and Lawler for the next pay-per-view. You should have left it out and do it on the next show. That would have been better, but this is just me. This was just basically a brawl, if there was going to be considered a brawl, because Low-Ki wanted to go and beat the crap out of Conan. Conan was ready to do whatever it took, and he took a loaded sock and whacked him in the face. And I believe the same guy that we were talking about earlier, who was in the car, I can't remember his name. But you guys know who it is. You'll see maybe a picture or two in my face. But he was helping out Low-Ki because he supposedly got his ring run. In the end, Low-Ki beat the crap out of Conan. In fact, this is where things get, where I believe, adult. This is not a little kid's show. This is not a teenager show. This is an adult show. This was an adult episode. Because in the end, you got a beatdown and a mugging and a near stabbing. Because once Low-Ki was clear-minded enough, he went and got a bottle, what was it, a beer bottle from Selena, put Conan's head on top of it, and then kicked him into it and cracked the sucker on his head. And the best thing was that Conan sold it enough so he can cut himself, and then once Low-Ki picked him up, he was bleeding, which was a good thing. He was able to hide himself enough to be able to cut himself to, you know, they do that, to at least make it look good. Then once the ref saw that Low-Ki was just hitting him in the kidney, and hitting him in the kidney, and hitting him in the kidney, he stopped the fight. He stopped the match. And Low-Ki wins, keeps his title. But here's where it's in my face that Low-Ki was being held, Low-Ki was, his friends were holding Conan, and he was just continually beating up on him. And then let him go, and then the others started beating him up again. And then, which was the best thing that I had not seen at all. And I felt that was the best thing they could have done. They pick Conan up. Low-Ki has what's left of the beer bottle. Grabs it and jams it in the back of Conan. Like he's stabbing him. And you know what? And I'm sure people are going to say, that was the most brutal thing. It's disgusting. They didn't need to go that far. Yes, they did. If this was New York, Just like Miami, Florida. New York and Miami hold one thing in common. When our gangs get mad, they don't care if they're being filmed. They will mess you up. And if we're talking about a Brooklyn guy, a Brooklyn brother, he don't give a damn. He's going to act like in Brooklyn. He's going to stab your ass. I'm sorry to say it like that. But if he was that type of person, he going to stab you. And then he ain't going to stop. Because even though Selena was trying to stop him, I believe that's her name, he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't grab that piece that was left over from the bottle and just shanked him. And that was beautiful. That was the best thing I've seen on television. And I believe Lawler, the very same person that Loki is going to be challenging in either February or in April, came out to save Conan, which was fine. Oh, almost forgot. This picture is of Conan now. This picture is of Conan then. I understand why he was called Conan, because he looked like Arnold. Nice. But that was lovely. But here's the thing now that made this show mean something special to me, and I will be watching it again next week. I think it's Saturday when they release it. I will be watching it again. And if you guys like this, and if I like that next episode, I will be probably making a series out of this. You got Tommy Dreamer, who had a segment talking about Brian Pillman Jr., the one that I think he faced about 2 weeks before, because it did show a flashback, and that he got cheated out of that match. And pretty much, I'm not even going to cover what he said. You can go over to Major League Wrestling's YouTube channel. You can watch it yourself. But I'm making it simple, which I have been screaming about for Impact Wrestling and WWE to do when they have the chance. Something you've not seen on TV in years. Tommy said, I'm going to teach you. You think you want to hang with me? I'll show you what it means to hang with me. I am challenging you to a Singapore cane match. Yeah! Tommy's in my face for that. Or something where someone's cheering. I don't care. Whatever. A Singapore cane match. Let's go. You don't understand what a real Singapore cane... A cane match means nothing. Grabbing the cane, beating the person up means freaking nothing until you have a real Singapore cane match where you fight not to claim the cane, but not to get beaten up after the match. Because when you lose that freaking match, what happened with Sandman and Tommy Dreamer, it wasn't about beating up your opponent after the match with the cane. This was that the person who lost the freaking match had to stand there and take getting whooped until that person who's whooping you decides, all right, I'm done, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Go whimper off like a little bitch. That is where I believe both Impact Wrestling, unless they used to do it, and I don't know because I didn't watch the product until about 2010, mid-2010. So before 2010, if they did a Singapore cane match, I will say I'm sorry, but if they never done it, that was a lost opportunity. WWE, as far as I understand, has never done a Singapore cane match. I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. Anyone who knows if they've done one. As far as I know, in their history, they've never done one. They've done cane matches where you can grab a cane and beat the crap out of somebody, but never a Singapore cane match. This, I believe, is one of the best matches to try and get someone over. That's what happened with Tommy Dreamer. He even said it himself. This is how it got myself over. And this is what I believe. If Brian Pillman Jr., if this is really Brian Pillman's son, this is how he's going to get over. This is the match that I'm looking for next week. If they fuck this up, and if Tommy, it's not the point if Tommy messes up or not. That's his match. He has nothing to worry about. He's been made. But Brian Pillman, he's got to be made with this match. Major League Wrestling must do this match properly. Because if it's done wrong, I'm done. Because that is the most important match that you can ever have. And for someone like me, it isn't about being old school. It's about being relevant. Doing something meaningful. And you're using one of the most brutal matches that you can create on television. It better be done right. I am hyped for this match. I I don't give a fuck about Royal Rumble now. I don't care about what's going on, even with Becky Lynch, and I love Becky. This match right now means more to me than anything. I am hoping they do this right. I am hype. I am hype for this mess. And this is the end of episode 37 review of Major League Wrestling. Give me a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me, should I continue doing this, actually make it into a series, or not? Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!